All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it as always. I got to be like one of the worst YouTube hosts ever. I decided with 3 minutes on the clock to shave to see how fast I could shave. Apparently, I wasn't that fast. Anyway, Sarita, thank you for 5x5. Evolving Media, Loretta, Krista, Third Eye, Kimbo, thank you for 5x5. Celtic, Kimberly, Miss Nancy, Dobie, Flown Grown, Base Bunny, The Watchman, Busy, Martine, Beach, thank you for 5x5. Toto, Ozark, JF, AllPower, Maria Jackson, thank you for the 5x5. Groundhog, thank you for the 5x5. Witty, Let's Go, Occurs, thank you for the 5x5. Eric, Kathy, thank you for the 5. Sorry, Kathy, what's going on? American, Patriot, First and Last, Crow, thank you for the 5x5. Trapper Bob, Time to Think, Mitch, J. Andrews, Raccoon Eyes, thank you for the 5x5. Brian, thank you for the 5x5. William, thank you for the 5x5. Yeah, man, I thought it was going to be like super fast. I'm like, nope, not at all. Todd Smith, Mary, and Monica, thank you for the 5x5. Patriot's son, Mary, Robert, thank you for 5x5. Anyway, let's see what's on. Prep to Adapt, Maria Jackson, and Raccoon Eyes, thank you for the 5x5. On Rumble, excuse me. ICE just purchased, rented a facility in Williamsport, Maryland. Williamsport, Maryland. 500 square feet logistic building. Logistic, my ass, tech, cookie tech farmer. And he said that on Rumble, by the way. Renee, Comet Moon, Snapcrackle, thank you for 5x5. AZ Desert, thank you for 5x5. Donovan, The Watchman, thank you for the 5x5. Craig Hunter, Diamore. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, thank you for the 5x5. And Jordan's. All right, guys, so tonight we're talking about the building of new detention camps. Now, apparently these have been reported as detention centers, if you will, or camps for illegal immigrants. But the amount of buildings they are buying, amount of property they are taking up, this is not just for illegal immigrants. So there's definitely something else at play. But this article sent to me just now, Herald Mail Media, Homeland Security ICE buys warehouse near Williamsport for detention site. I think you have to buy it, but I'll read you the first article. The Department of Homeland Security and U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, has purchased a Williamsport area warehouse in the wake of report ICE was looking for local facilities to detain immigrants. The warehouse along Wright and Hopewell Road was sold to Homeland Security January 16th for $102.4 million, according to the deed. What? $102 million for a? That's not good. Oh yes, FEMA and Ozark. I wouldn't even call them FEMA camps at this point. I would call them detention camps, concentration camps, whatever you want to call it. But they're not. They're for American citizens. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. There's not that many illegal immigrants to do so. In fact, when Obama was doing it, he didn't need all of these detention camps, these warehouses, these places that they're turning into holding facilities for illegal immigrants. Obama deported 4 or 5 million. He didn't need to do this. So this and a building that big for that much money, there's something else at play. Now these camps have been being built, for the last 20 years now, and I think a lot of the boom was the private prisons that popped up out of nowhere all of a sudden. Rachel, It could be quarantine buildings. It could be that as well. But you would have to see what's inside for that to be so. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that these are detention centers for Americans who speak up or disagree with Trump. Because let's see if I can. Oh, all right. It was a Frio article. Thank you, Sarita, for that. All right, so the key points of this article: Department of Homeland Security and ICE purchased a building worth $102.4 million. The purchase follows reports of a Trump administration plan to renovate warehouse to hold immigrant detainees. Excuse me. Maryland politicians and residents have protested the proposed facility, citing lack of transparency and community input. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, Hudson Valley. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be fine. I mean, I could definitely see them messing with us, but I think we'll be fine. All right, all right, all right. So, the Washington Post reported December 24th that the Trump administration is seeking contractors for a plan that includes renovating industrial warehouses to hold more than 80,000 immigrant detentions at a time. Again, Obama deported 4 to 5 million illegal immigrants, and he didn't need all of these detention centers being bought and or built. So this has to be for something else. Now, yes, it could be a quarantine zone. It could be a zone for those who do not take the arm ticket for whatever next is going to be released. Feel empathy. All right, all right, all right. I'm trying to read all of the shit that's coming in at one time. Betty Belcher said the mattress businesses are somehow connected, I think. Interesting. If that is true, that is very interesting. But keep in mind, the mattresses that they're probably going to get are not going to be the nice, fluffy, expensive kind. The mattresses that the fire department gets, right? So for our bunk rooms, if you will, the mattresses we get are the same mattresses, or were the same mattresses that inmates used. Now, I don't think they use the same mattresses we use anymore because we have springs in them, but I think at one time they were. But our mattresses are like bottom of the barrel. And so I can't see them giving migrants anything other than those. And those are cheap. Those are like maybe $200 a pop. Now, if you get them on bulk, it's probably cheaper. But yeah, man, I could see some mattress companies being involved, but on a cheaper end, not the high end. They said, no, he didn't. Obama used cages. It doesn't matter if Obama used cages. He didn't have to do all of this. He didn't have to buy all of this land. Again, they're building detention centers in Florida as we speak. They're building new prisons all over the country. Why? Private prisons are being built all over this nation. If crime is going down, why are they building more prisons? If you can answer me that, grateful prep and Jay, please enlighten me. But if the stats, as the Trump administration and the Biden administration, by the way, states that crime is on the downslide, if there's less crime, why are there more detention camps being built? Right? If it's for criminals, I'm talking about the private prisons. The more private prisons are being built, who the fuck are they putting in those private prisons? If crime is on the downside or the decline, excuse me. Johnny D, martial law, absolutely. Those of us who don't abide by the next whatever nonsense they throw at us, outbreak perhaps. Those of us who break curfew, those of us who again disagree with Trump. It could be for a lot of reasons, man. A lot of reasons. But something isn't right. That's all it is. Backwood Wisdom says, I call bullshit. You call bullshit on what? What part? everything I'm saying. Because listen, guys, if you people continue to think that Trump is the righteous president of this country, you are sorely wrong. I've been battling with damn near a lot of people on Facebook, and they keep saying Trump's doing a great job, Trump's doing this. And all of a sudden, when I bring up the whole Epstein list and how that could save a lot of lives and find a lot of people, everybody automatically shuts up. I'm like, if your president is doing such a great job, why isn't he saving these people's lives? Because that list will save a lot of lives and find a lot of people, and maybe in some cases, find a lot of bodies. So some of these people could be put to rest in a normal manner rather than discarded in some field or lake or buried in somebody's forest somewhere. Anyway, listen, if somebody can answer that, how come Trump isn't doing that? Right? And that would be a great president to put it all on the line. But he's not doing that. He's full of shit. And anybody who backs him and backs that is full of shit. There are people making excuses as to why he did. Now, there is one, I said this before, I'll say it again. I have said that the Epstein list is radioactive, right? It's like a nuclear bomb. I think, personally, if that list comes out, that list would be catastrophic to the world, possibly to every politician alive and celebrities. There would be such a, not even a witch hunt, a mob justice, whatever you want to call it, going after these people. I think it would break the world in two, but it would be worth it if it saves lives. But, again, people who think Trump is a righteous president, there goes your righteousness right there. This guy, and again, it would have been nothing had he not said he was going to release the list. That's what it all comes down to. This man sat there and said, I'm going to release the list. His cronies, who were sucking his dick as they were campaigning, said that they were going to release the list. They said that the list should be released. Dan Bongino, absolutely, it should be released. The world and the public should know. Backpedals like a motherfucker. So again, for those of you still sticking up for this man, you guys are just straight up and down retarded. Betty, he always boasts about himself. And listen, it's okay. It's okay to boast yourself or boost yourself up and make yourself. It's okay if you're doing the right thing. But once he started calling his MAGA followers stupid for thinking the Epstein list was real, that's where he lost a lot of people. And yet, those people who are still sucking, that's still polishing his nutsacks, they're still, he's still doing great. They're like, my 457 is doing great. So your 457 is more important than a fucking child and a woman being diddled right now? That's more important? And so when people say dumb shit like that, and I follow it up with that, they go, well, there's no well. You're an asshole for saying that. Right? So and yes, Grateful Prep NJ, I do hold him to a high standard because he said he was going to release it. That's my whole issue with it. Had he not said anything about it, or had he said, "Oh, we'll see," I'd have been like, "All right, fine. He's going to try and do something about it," which means no. But at least he was honest enough to sit there and tell us that, okay, he's not going to do this. But instead, he boasted about it all the time. He made it a point almost every time he was on TV to talk about releasing the list. Stop feeding into the sides of drama bullshit. Martine, I don't know what you mean by that. Again, you guys gotta like make a complete sentence. That would be nice. So at the very least, know what you guys are talking about. Because I do happen to glance at the list every now and again, and I'm like, the list. Sorry, at the chat every now and again. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? You know? Like I said, guys, had he just like left the list alone, you wouldn't even hear me talking about this right now. You know, I would be still disappointed it wasn't released, but I wouldn't be holding him to that high standard. Right? And like somebody else said on here, he's on it, man. Possum King. Yes, Possum King, you're right. Possum King on Rumble said Trump is pathetic, owned by Israel. Israel owns everybody. And Israel, guys, is up to no good. I can't tell you how many people they infected. It's almost like it's wild. There are so many people that are on their nipple. It's insane. That's the craziness. Like, I mean, even Marjorie Taylor Greene, they said something to her. They scared her with something or about something. That's the craziness. So whatever they scared her with is why she left the political game, and she's quiet now. You don't hear a peep out of her. So, and then someone goes, "You guys love psychops." Well, what I think is a psychop is Alex Preddy. There's something weird about a week ago when he was tackled by the police. I'm going to explain this very slowly because when I said it in my head and I said it out loud to myself, I was like, that sounds crazy. But bear with me. Not that it was staged, but the first incident he got into, when the cop grabbed him, it was almost like Alex was overacting, if that makes any sense. The video that they just released today, it was almost like he was overacting. And it was weird. And then they ripped his jacket off, and he had his gun on him. So I was wrong. He carried his gun on his back. Apparently in that video he did. And so I remember I said he was carrying on his side. He carried it in his back. So it was wild. And then they saw the gun, and they didn't do anything. They didn't arrest him. They didn't take the gun off of him. They left him alone. And so it was just strange, man. And then he broke a tail light on a vehicle, and they didn't arrest him. So something isn't right, man. I'm just looking at this like that got me thinking. And then on top of everything else, he was wearing the same exact clothing he was a week ago. I thought that was odd. So yeah, Christ my King says psych lovers. Christ my King, shut up. I don't know, suck a dick. Maybe we can multitask. I don't know. You choose. Doesn't change the fact that something is wrong with that whole situation. And it just, if you guys look at the video, just let me know. Martine, that's what my gut instinct was telling me when I saw the video. Didi, they broke his rib. Even if so, they broke his rib. It was wild. That video was wild. It was like he was overacting when the agent grabbed him. The agent was shaking him around like a rag doll with no spine. He was like, I was like, what is that? How did you go from being a tough guy? This guy grabs you, shakes you like a baby, and you're just like, and it was like he was overacting. Then he ripped his jacket off, saw the gun, and let him go. Punk my video. It has to be a psych op. There's something wrong here. Teddy, the new video apparently is not AI. So, I mean, I looked at it closely. I watched it a few times because you can always spot AI after watching it a couple of times. It wasn't AI. Apparently, it was the real deal. And the one where he broke the taillight of the vehicle. And they didn't arrest him for breaking the taillight. But then the next week, he gets sprayed in the face and they arrest him for that. He didn't even touch the cop. Like, that's the crazy shit. When you watch the whole video, the second one where he gets shot, he didn't touch the cop at all. Everybody kept saying he was aggressively pushing the cop. I'm like, and everybody who said that, I'm like, you're repeating the same shit politicians are saying because he never touched the cop. Like, not at any point. He stepped in the way to protect the lady who was getting pepper sprayed, like she was in a fucking cum shot video. The cop was like, ah, she was just sitting there, oh, and it was wild. It was the fucking wildest thing to watch. And then he tried to step in there, like the cop didn't see him. It was a weird video, and then they started wrestling him to the ground. It was fucking the wildest thing to see. But something isn't right with this whole thing. Something isn't right. A Toilet X. Listen, he might have been a liberal nutbag, but that doesn't mean you get shot for it. Yes, he world. Yeah, the way he kicked the taillight too, and the way it flew off, I was like, "What is this made out of Legos? Who kicks a taillight?" There was so many things wrong. I was just like, "What the fuck is coming up, man?" I was like, it was just wild. Now I'm looking at this like, I don't know now. Who the fuck wears the same? Was that like his super uniform, his super protest uniform? He was like, let me put this on. I feel brave. Like, I don't know what was going on, but to wear the same exact shit signified to me that either A, this was all a setup so that he could be identified across different platforms so that people be like, oh, that's him. Yeah, that's him. Useless said no blood. I don't know, Useless. No one was close enough to see that. But there was definitely something wrong with that whole thing. Which is even worse, by the way. You guys talking about AI and CGI. They try to make him look more manlier in other pictures. I'm like, when I saw the picture, this is going to be a racist comment. So be it. But he looked very tiny hat, very Jewy, right? He looked like a Jew. And when I saw the picture of him, he was all masculine looking. I go, that's not how he looks. That's not how any of them look. And then a real picture of him came out. He looked all like all fucking weak and shit. So when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, no, that's not a real picture of him. Then the real picture came out. He looked all like all weak and shit, all like they do. So anyway, I was like, I knew that they were fluffing his picture, right? That's what you call it, fluffing. They fluffed his picture to make him look like a man. They try to give him a strong jawline. They cleaned the picture up. He looked like a vegetarian in the other picture. Exactly. They try to make him look like he ate meat. In the other picture, he ate cock. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? How you? Whatever, man. It was just bizarre that the left tries so much to make him look manly. The right is trying to investigate his entire life to find if they could find anything wrong with him. It was bizarre. It was just the craziest shit to watch. I'm like, because again, like if like I've known a couple of strong-looking Jews in my life. That guy wasn't it. And when you watch the video of him, and then you see the picture they try to pass on him, you're like, no dice. I'm not falling for that. And then the real pictures came out, and I was like, there we go, the cock guzzler picture. He looked like a vegan, or what is that one? The other vegan, right? People like, I don't eat meat. He definitely doesn't. Well, he eats the other meat, for sure. But yeah, anyway, all I have to say, guys, is that everybody is trying their best to lie. Everyone. The right is repeating what the right politicians or Republicans are saying. The left is trying to make them look manlier, and all of a sudden now they love guns. Remember, the left they wanted nothing to do with firearms. Zero. They were like, oh, they should all be banned. He gets shot, and all of a sudden, everybody's like, well, the Second Amendment. I said, these pussies knew nothing about the Second Amendment. They wanted the Second Amendment changed, wiped out. We got to get rid of guns. Now he gets shot, and all of a sudden they love the Second Amendment. Everybody in this thing is full of shit. Everyone. There was no blackout in New York City. I hope there wasn't. And no blackout. But it's everybody's full of shit, man. It's just everybody wants their argument. And now, like, the crazy shit is Republicans are like, well, you shouldn't be able to carry guns in protest because shut the fuck up. Either you have the right to bear arms or you don't. We're not going to pick and choose where we can carry it now. People are like, well, I don't carry a gun to the bar because I don't drink. So if I went to a bar, guess what I would have on me? That weapon. Simple as that. If I was able to carry, that is. I mean, in New York you can carry. I just refuse to pay the $900 fucking, what you call it. But yeah, man, fuck that. If I went to church, guess what? Okay. If I went to church, guess what I would have on me? You know. Well, again, we're not going to pick. Like, listen, if you're a drinker, yes, you shouldn't have your weapon on you. You absolutely shouldn't have your weapon on you if you're a drinker. If you go into a bar and you know that you can get heavy with the fucking gun, yeah, leave it at home. But if you're not a drinker and you're babysitting people, yes, you can carry. So I would carry my weapon everywhere and anywhere because I can, because that's what it's allowed. But to sit there and tell me, oh, you shouldn't go to a protest, and now they're taking a stance. What's that bitch's name? Megan Kelly, that blonde-headed cocksucking whore, right? That chick, she's like, oh, he should have stayed home. Bitch, is that how protesting works? Get the fuck out of here. Like, and now everybody's trying to repeating what she's saying. He should have minded his business and staying home. That is not what protesting is. Protesting is not minding a business, is not staying home. This is why the right is losing a lot of ground because we're not out there mixing it up. We're not out there protesting against the protesters. We're not counter protesting, excuse me. Right? Instead, we're sitting idly by. Dan Phillips, no. I said I refuse to pay that firearm license here in New York. It's insane. It's actually it's almost by the time everything's said and done for the license and the check and all that. I think I'm paying about $500-600. Some of you guys are paying a nickel for your license. You get what I'm saying? Ham Fox, very good. That is a good point. But until then, I know a linguistic judo. That'll get me out of a lot of shit. And then I have hands. Right? So there is that. And that's the other thing, guys. Anything and everything ICE does is our business. That is our tax-paying dollars going to work. People will like, mind your business. No, you need to pay attention to what ICE is doing. You need to pay attention to what Border Patrol is doing. Anytime your tax-paying dollars at work, you pay attention. Right? If the cops are doing some shit, watch what they're doing. Do you have to film them and be an asinine prick about it? No. But DG trans, whatever the hell your name is, you're right. Permits are unconstitutional. You are absolutely right. But the whole, again, guys, staying at home bullshit fucking bullshit reason. Absolutely bullshit. Telling people that, we should be minding our business. ICE is our fucking business. That's the bottom line. That whole mind your business shit, before you know it, you're not paying attention to what they're doing, then they're knocking on your door asking you questions for some shit. I talk judo, my friend. Because that's all we got. Oh, the book of harsh language, you choose. Because that always works. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. In New York, it is the book of harsh language. We fight with words. Fuck you. No, fuck you. And until the first person gets out of the car or steps, it's normally just linguistic judo, my friend. And that's the other thing. Where are your papers? Craig the Hunter, you can stop the funding. We have to fight for that. That's another problem. We're not going to fight for it. Linguistic judo sounds a little more intelligent. That's why I say it, right? Or linguistic karate, or aikido, or kempo. But anyway, my point, guys, is that it's our business. Oh, we guess. Nice one, Flown Grown. Or we could breakdance fight. Like that stupid movie, Breakdancing 2. So bad. Anyway, don't let anybody tell you that what ICE does is none of your business. It is our business. That's the bottom line. Anything that goes on outside with the American people is our fucking business. Whether you disagree or agree with protesting is irrelevant. What ICE does on those streets is our business. Bottom line. Verbal pimp hand. Yes, I like that one. Possum King. Yes, supposedly, a rumor is there might be an attack on Iran tonight, which will be their morning. That's a rumor. That's an ugly rumor, but nonetheless, it's a rumor. So that's what I've been hearing through the grapevine, or rather the internet. Thank you. I'm not going to sit here and act like I have, I have intel like other people. Tung Fu. Witty music. That's a good one. I like that one. Tung Fu. That's pretty good. But yeah, man. That's the rumor right now, that there might be an attack on Iran tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow. What is today? Thursday? That would be their Friday, I guess, right? So, whenever you see ICE operating in your town, it is your business to, at the very least, pay attention. Do you have to be asininely annoying and in their face with your camera? No. But you can absolutely film them. They're probably going to tell you you can't. You can. You have to stand a certain distance away. And depending on the state, if I'm not mistaken, the interference range will vary from state to state, if I'm not mistaken. I think 50 feet is safe, but you can be closer. I'm just not sure what the closer is. But 50 feet is definitely the safe distance to be away from them. If not, you could double that, make it 100. And still, with the cameras we have on our phones today, we can still record anything and anything. Again, I wouldn't record unless they're doing something heinous. But outside of that, I would absolutely watch them. Fuck that. I can't believe Republicans, the constitutionalists are up for ICE, telling people to mind their business. That is communist shit right there. That is the most retarded shit I've ever heard. These people whose taxpaying dollars we're funding, pay attention to what they're doing. Pay attention when they start buying property around your area for warehouses. That shit ain't for us, man. That shit is for us. It's not for fucking illegal immigrants, to tell you that much. There ain't that many illegal immigrants to be putting away like that. Granted, listen, the more violent ones, the more violent illegals, they should absolutely, especially those that have been charged with murder, they should get the death penalty, like right away. There shouldn't be a life in prison, so they get to live here, 3 hots in a cot, and get fed. Nope. They should absolutely. And I'll do you one better. Those who were murked by illegal immigrants, Chris, thank you for the donation. Boomers are the entire problem. I guess, Crisis, I'm not a boomer, so I wouldn't know. But thank you for the donation. Lost my train of thought. Jesus, I hate when that happens. It'll come back to me. I hate when you're this old and you lose your train of thought that fast. It's fucking insanity. But anyway, like I was saying, sorry. These detention centers, man, they have to be for us. They got to be. 20 million illegals is a lot. Oh, that's what I was saying. Illegal immigrants. I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better with the illegal immigrants. The parents of the children that were murked by illegal immigrants, the parents should be not responsible, but should have the choice to put these people to sleep. Right? That's who it should be. I think, and I would offer them I would offer them or grant them that permission to push the button or whatever it is. Whatever's done. Flip the switch, push the button, whatever it is, I would give them that option. That should absolutely be an option for parents who lost their kids to murderous illegal immigrants. Right? That's exactly 20 million, try 60 million. 60 million illegal immigrants. So the number went up because I'm pretty sure it wasn't that high before. Toilet, TXR, whatever the hell your name is, Toilet Trex. Joining ICE is not the answer. Disbanding ICE is the answer. But listen. Okay. And the National Guard should take over and do that job. Listen, it's not going to happen. It's definitely, there are over 10 million illegals here. Yes, there are over 10 million illegals here. Some are criminals, and the rest are low-level criminals. So those who came over here illegally but tried to provide them a job, I would classify them as low-level, like super low-level. There are others who deserve the forever sleep, right? And there are others that need to be deported. YouTube will not let me say organs. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Someone said that they couldn't super chat, and then other people complaining that they can't see their chats. I don't know what's going on. I can only do one thing at one time. You would be a wonderful ICE officer. Craig the Hunter probably would be a nice officer. I would tell him, hey, cut the fucking shit. Just bag who we need to bag and bounce out of there. That's it. We don't need it to be a fanfare, right? Like the people they're going after, they're making it a fanfare when they do it. Just go in there, snatch the little dude. They're only like 4 feet tall. Snatch him, shove him in a bag, and then bounce. But this whole fucking block the road, make the street, make it a fanfare. What the fuck is all of that bullshit? Again, Obama did the same shit, and it wasn't nearly as close of a fanfare. Jason's on the link. You know, but the fanfare of all of this shit. Angry is too much of a coward to join ICE. That's not about cowardice, toilet texter. It's about using common sense. And that's not somewhere where you want to be. And to boot, you owe them 5 years for that $50K bonus. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 3 to 5 years. You locked in. I think it's 5, and I think you're locked in for the 5 years. So even if I had a shitty 2 years, I can't leave. No, thank you. Grateful Prep. Why would we want to ban ICE? Ridiculous. Because you can use National Guards. That's why. Mark, I think my chair does need that. My chair actually, you know what? My chair only has a couple of... My chair only has maybe a year left, so leave it alone. AP put in ICE. But ICE is not the answer, man. It really isn't. And again, if ICE did their shit without making it a fanfare, I'd be okay with it. But blocking the streets and all that other bullshit. I mean, again, what are these Mexicans? They're like 3, 4 feet tall. You could put a bag on them and fucking, we got them, and then run like Santa Claus and over the shoulders. You're done. You're done. But that's not what's going on. They're like, they're stopping traffic. They're like, hey, we need more officers here. And then, okay, we got everybody. We got all 50 guys for one dude. Come on, man. I've seen fucking cops do fucking better with less. Cops. After I'm gone, they can take my chair. But let's leave the chair alone. I'm going to have a ceremonial thing for my chair when it dies, when it finally breaks. I have a whole video on it. The chair was a good chair. Invest $10 in your chair. It would be like new. No. I need to get a really good chair. This is about to go. Maybe if I tighten some of the screws, it'll be better. But, yeah. Yep, if you don't make 5 years, you have to pay back everything. Yeah, fuck that. Thank you, 84 Melara. If I said that right? Exactly. No dice, man. No dice. Free taco stands. And listen, here's the other thing, too. For those illegal immigrants who are here illegally, but they've been working for the last 10 or 12 years, they should get a pass, I think. They should get a fast track to getting their papers. But those who have come here to start a gang or a criminal organization or spread a criminal organization, they should immediately be defooted, losing like a left foot, so that they can't fucking hobble back over here. Be real, thank you for the donation. These are the decisions that direct enforcement through agencies. So elaborate on why ICE is unconstitutional. Be real. Let me get back to you. They are unconstitutional because they were never written in as a constitutional organization. Sort of like police. Police departments are unconstitutional. But I wrote this up the other day. I'm sorry, I pulled this up the other day. Nice. Give me a second. All right, so ICE action, particularly regarding the recent memo allowing agents to enter home without judicial warrants, have been deemed unconstitutional by various legal experts and advocates. They violate Fourth Amendment protection against unreasonable searches and seizures. And because of that, they're unconstitutional. Now, I'll do you one better. Yes, ICE is law enforcement, but they are not constitutional. Let's see. The Constitution says about the right. So basically, let me get it up for you. Immigration and custom ICE has recently been criticized for practices which are unconstitutional. They have, in all but a few cases, broken the Fourth Amendment protection against unreasonable searches and seizures. Legal experts argue that the administrative warrants do not meet the constitutional requirement for judicial approvals. Again, unconstitutional. At the very least, their actions. Chair is about to fail fund. Thank you, Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. So, again, per law of the land, but our criminal system operates in maritime laws. Listen, there's a lot of agencies that are unconstitutional. Just because we deem them federal agencies doesn't automatically make them constitutional. All right, and I said this before, and I'll say it again. You can use the National Guards to round up illegal immigrants. The problem with using National Guards is that you have to ask states to cooperate, and that's not going to work. Babysat like a bunch of dumbasses, but capable of it. I don't need to GoFundMe for a new chair. Thank you. David, yes, David, I'm right. A lot of organizations are unconstitutional. It's not just ICE, but let's just start there. Let's start with them. Trail name, Ziploc. That is not the job of the National Guards, but you can deem it so. They're already a federal or nationally federal organization, right? They can be called to action, for this kind of work. They can. A lot of states would use them. Some states will not use them at that capacity. It is up to each state. ICE warrants serving jobs over to U.S. Marshals. That's not what they're doing, Barrett. They're not turning their warrants over to Marshals. You are sure this is the right country? Yes, the Watchman. I am. Help retire the chair. All right. So anyway, state officials, including governors and attorney generals, have denounced ICE's action as unconstitutional. While ICE operates under federal law, its recent practice, particularly regarding home entry without judicial warrants, has sparked significant debate. Now, again, all of this being said, it's unconstitutional for their actions, but nothing happens. Just because, guys, Betty, there is a constitutional sheriff organization. Listen, I didn't know that sheriffs were constitutional versus the police departments. Police departments are not constitutional, right? So NYPD, for example, is not a constitutional organization. PAEMT, no, New York State. Okay, so PAEMT, thank you for bringing that up. So the case a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, was one that New York City can have a full carry now because it was unconstitutional as to what they were doing. So now New York City follows it. Now, in regards to New York State, some of their rules about magazines and stuff like that might be getting overturned because of the unconstitutional nonsense that they're following. And they're still fighting that. There's a two-way group here in New York State that's been fighting for the last, I think, 10 years. And they're making headway, and they made major headway with New York City. Rena Bear, I heard about Gaza becoming a smart city. I told people there was way. First of all, thank you for the donation. I told people there was way more to Gaza than that bombing, copper bombing it. And sheriffs are voted into office. Nothing that was done to the J6 protest was constitutional. Grateful Preps, exactly. Listen, guys, there's a lot of constitutional shit being broken. Um, there's a lot of constitutional shit being broken, laws being disrespected. That's without a doubt, right? So we continue to let the Constitution be trampled on a little bit at a time instead of just standing our ground, like the 2A nonsense. Here in New York State, for example, in New York City, we should be down in Albany in their asses protesting this shit. We should be absolutely tearing them apart. We should be looking at the Constitution closely and go, oh, that's unconstitutional, and getting in politicians' asses. Instead, we sit by and do nothing. Right? And yes, state and feds are different. But you still tell, when you read in police officers, for example, and firefighters, you tell them, and you have them swear in, and when they swear in, they state that they will uphold the Constitution of the United States and that they will follow the laws of, whatever state they live in. Uphold the Constitution of the United States. Every police agent and firefighter agency is sworn in to uphold the Constitution. Immediately turn around and tell us we can't own firearms, you got to arrest this guy for having a firearm, and all this other bullshit. It's in the swearing in of every agency to uphold the Constitution. Pick up the what? Anyway. David, yes, we don't have the obligation to let everyone in. I do agree with that bullshit. I'm just saying those that are here, they should be fast tracked. Those who've been working, doing the right thing, raising their kids, maybe them, maybe. But we shouldn't let the entire world in. You're right. What's going on? What's going on in Europe? I saw a video the other day. I don't know how old it is. I want to say it's a year old, I think. But because they let so many migrants in, you're also letting in defective people, people with psych issues and shit like that. There was a guy running around a park stabbing people, and he kept trying to stab a particular baby in a stroller. I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did. Right? And so we can't allow that to happen. We're watching what's happening in Europe, and Europe is falling apart. What's happening in Europe is planned. What's happening in Europe is part of the plan to destabilize a lot of the countries that are stabilized, if that makes sense. If you're carrying, yes. Listen, JC1, it is fair to say that if you're carrying, you need to be responsible. But how many people have we watched over the years carry their firearm and were irresponsible? Let's not make and pretend that Alex Preddy was the first one to be irresponsible with his firearm. Can we agree to that? Can we agree that he is not the only one? There have been plenty of people before him that have done dumb shit. For example, the mother a couple years ago in the supermarket with a firearm in her purse. The kid takes the firearm out of the purse and accidentally shoots the mother in the face, kills her on the spot. Right? You have guys who have their firearms laying on the table in their home, and the kid winds up shooting themselves. So let's not pretend that. So let's not pretend that he's the only guy that's irresponsible. There's a lot of irresponsible motherfuckers out there. The fact that people try to use the argument of being responsible is insane. We have watched so many people over the years be way more irresponsible than that. Yes, he was an asshole. He shouldn't have fucking been there. Maybe. But he was there protesting, so there's nothing that can be done about it. He can't carry his firearm to the protest. That's what you're allowed to do. He wasn't in anybody's face. He didn't smack or touch the ICE agent or Border Patrol, excuse me. He didn't do any of that. I watched the video several times to make sure. He did not touch anyone. So he wasn't irresponsible in carrying a gun. Should he have been in that position? No. But he saw a lady getting beat up, so he put himself in a position to protect her. The video shows that 1,000 times. Anybody who repeats that he hit the officer or put hands on the officer means you didn't watch the video. You just watched the politician tell you this shit like an asshole. We got to stop believing in politicians, guys. We got to stop sitting there and putting our trust in people who fucking hate us. Politicians hate us. Falcon, he can kick a car all day. That doesn't mean he should be shot for kicking a car. At best, he should have been arrested for, what is that? Damage to government property, but he wasn't. How come they didn't arrest him right then and there for that? He would probably still be dealing with that had they arrested him. Again, guys, you guys got to be careful what side of the aisle you're going to stand on. Because now you're switching to the left and thinking, oh, Alex Preddy should have been fucking shot because he kicked a car? Come on, man. Grow up. It's a car. If he kicked an ICE agent, you're supposed to meet force with force. You're not supposed to kick an ICE agent and then get shot. It don't work that way. Preddy was an actor. Listen, let's go. If you listen to what I was saying, I said that it felt like he was acting when they were tussling him around. And Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee, spitting doesn't require you to get shot. You meet force with force. Stalking law enforcement with intent. Toilet texter, we do not know he was stalking them with intent. Apparently he had his gun on him last week as well. So, and the week before that. So he always carries with him. So you can't use that as the excuse. It was not just a car. It was a SUV. Did I say car? Excuse me. Yeah, but let's go. If you look at the beginning, something was wrong with that whole thing. Jamerk, you're right. It's not a left or right thing. The problem is the left is behaving like the right now, and the right's behaving like the left. It's like they're switching places. It's almost like Freaky Friday. You're like, what is going on here? And now, again, the right is sitting there and going, well, he shouldn't have been there. He should have minded his business. That is not minding your business, man. Like, not at all. Like, not even a little bit. Now, be real. Thank you for the donation. And again, hopefully I answered your question. So many people trying to change the subject. I guess. Broke stacker? Yeah, whatever. And listen, guys. There's another theory going out there, which I thought I was the only one thinking about this. But Dan Phillips, I'll go with that. And there's update. Thank you, Dan Phillips, for bringing that up. He said it was an accident, unfortunately. The officer who shot him is on desk duty, and now they're going into investigation. And now Trump is like, we're gonna have a comprehensive investigation now. So clearly, now they're looking at this and going, something was wrong with the shooting. If Trump, the lies they told us in the beginning, guys, they told us all these lies in the beginning. They said he was waving a firearm. Remember that? Then they said he went hands-on with the agent, with the Border Patrol. He didn't do that. They lied, and now they're like, now we got to suspend the agent suspended. I'm sorry. If I'm not mistaken, either he's suspended or he's on desk duty, and now they're having a comprehensive investigation. So again, how's that for justice, right? Obviously, they're looking at this now and like, yeah, this is bullshit. We got to do something about it. And Flown Grown, I do apologize. I know you wanted to talk about detention camps. Let me point out something real quick about the detention camps. So apparently, guys, Florida signed a House bill back in 2023 called House Bill 269. 269, guys, is aimed to enhance the enforcement mechanism against anti-Semitism and protect religious communities, Jews, in Florida. This legislation builds on the previous efforts to combat anti-Semitism and safeguard religious liberties, Jews. The enforcement mechanism on this bill is to prohibit intentional dumping litter. I do not know what this means. You got to look this up yourself. This is wild shit right here. Intimidation and harassment. prohibits intentional dumping of litter on private property to intimidate or threaten the owner or resident. Religious and ethnic harassment, Jews, criminalizes willful and malicious harassment based on a person's religious or ethnic identity, Jews. Prohibit on displaying offensive images. Create a new offense for displaying or projecting offensive images onto buildings or structures, swastikas. Legislative context. Previous legislative bills built on earlier laws, including HB 741, which focuses on anti-Semitism in public education. Jews. International trades and missions. The signing took place during DeSantis' trade mission to Israel. He hugged the wall and licked the wall, emphasizing Florida's commitment to combating anti-Semitism globally. Now, here's the problem, guys, with this bill, Bill 269. Bill 269 is made to combat anti-Semitism globally, not just in Florida, which, again, he's a governor of Florida. He should only be focused on Florida. But instead, all of these governors, all of these politicians are making a pledge to Israel to fight anti-Semitism around the world. Thank you, Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. Around the world, there is a problem. There's a huge problem, guys, when you are making a declaration to fight anti-Semitism globally, and you are the governor of said state, whether that's New York, Florida, Nevada. There's a problem here. There's a huge problem. So again, guys, this is a big issue. And ICE is expanding their detention building across the nation. Across the nation. There is a huge problem here. This is all because Israel wants people to be put in camps if you talk out against them. All of these bills, guys, are being passed in states across the country. Look up these bills nationwide. I promise you, you're going to see a connection, all of it going back to Israel. Why is that? And why are these states individually donating to Israel? Anyway, guys, this is bad. This is all bad. For introducing me to top videos. Rum Runner, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I ran out of time, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for going down that fucking rabbit hole with this guy, but I want to address this again. I might do it on another Saturday night live stream. Right? If I get off a live stream, I might address this again. I might dive a little deeper. But I'm telling you right now, guys, you're not going to like where this is going. I promise you. And what happened to Gaza, guys, that's a smart city. We're going to do, matter of fact, I might do a live stream Saturday night, and we're going to talk about Gaza and what's going on with that and how that's going to link back to us here. Because I've been following a couple people. They've been talking about it, and you're not going to like the direction that's going in. Outside of that, guys, I got to jump off and head over to the Angry Truth channel. We're going to talk about civil war or revolution. What's the difference and what is needed? Outside of that, guys, thank you for joining me. Yes, I should become the distracted prepper. You're absolutely right. I have the fucking brain of a goldfish. Thank you, Trail Name, for that. Guys, I will see some of you on the Angry Truth. I will follow the rest. Hopefully, you guys will follow me next Tuesday for the double header. Hopefully, I'll see some of you guys Saturday, if I do one. All right, guys, thank you.